All right. I am going to put on my wolf hat. I got a wolf tail. I got wolf slippers. And we're going to tell a story. All right. The true story of the 3 little pigs. Everybody knows the story of the 3 little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you know. On a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. So here's the wolf side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexandra T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big bad too. But like I say, the whole big bad wolf is all wrong. The real story is about sneezing and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbors for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built this whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, in the right mind would build a straw house. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, if I fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I just about to go home without a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming. Well, huff, and I sneezed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to my next neighbor house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hair of my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I sniffled and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy house fell down just like his brother. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and the second pig's brother. He have been the brains in the family. That means he's smart. He had built his house of bricks out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little poker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Is that very nice? I don't think that's very nice. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup. My dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt up my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffled and I sneezed. Achoo! Again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. So he's not being very nice. He's being very mean. See, as you can see, his eyes are very mean looking. He doesn't mean to do that. All right, here we go. Now that I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go little crazy. So he loves his grandma so much. When the cops drove up, of course I tried to break down this pig door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing. So he was sneezing a lot. And sneezing, making a real scene. So here it is. Whoops. There we go. The rest, as they say, is history. The new reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner and figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huffing and puffing and blew the house down and made me a big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. Oops. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. He still wants a cup of sugar when he's in there. The end. So there's the 3 pigs' houses. All right. Bye, you guys. Love you.